Alrighty. So in contrast to Corin and Bayonetta, who we just drew, Inkling, I am super excited for. I think Inkling is inherently a very interesting character. I love how you can have lots of different types of Inklings. Um, what I mean by that, right, is you've got the girl Inklings with all her different styles, and you've got boy Inklings with all their different styles, and they all have different colors, and um, I think that's inherently pretty interesting, and I'm excited about that. I appreciate when characters are different and unique. I also really enjoy their. So first of all, I the idea of Splatoon itself, I think, is a really clever idea, making a shooter that's kind of more lighthearted and fun, right? You're not trying to kill everyone. You're just trying to spread ink. And also, the one thing I thought was also very innovative and cool is that generally in these shooter games, right, your objective is to go around and kill everyone, which is really fun. I enjoy like Halo and things like that, and that's great. But what happens is you generally get um, a group of people who feel like they can't really contribute because they play with people they're too good, right? Or online, you just get demolished because you've got all the people who just play Halo all day, every day online, and so it's hard to feel like you can contribute when there is such a high learning curve, I guess, if you will, and the objectives are so narrow, right? Because everyone's trying to kill each other and all that. All this to say, I think it's very fascinating that in Splatoon, even if you're awful at the game, you win by inking the arena, which means theoretically you could completely, if you felt less comfortable, you could avoid a lot of the conflict and try to um, and just try to ink a bunch of stuff, which I think is again very interesting and unique and allows everyone to feel like they can participate. It's a more casual gaming experience, which is what Nintendo's all about, right? They don't want a game to feel too competitive that it blocks out common users. They want every person to feel like they can enjoy and they could pick it up and go, right? And so I think that's really cool and notable. It's definitely noteworthy and praiseworthy, I suppose. Um, and in Smash Brothers, I really like how they brought back the ink mechanic. It's a very kind of nuanced thing. Interestingly enough, Inkling's probably a character that's a little bit more technical and requires more skill because not only do you have to fight, you also have to pay close attention to your ink meter. So if you can see on the back here, there's a capsule of ink. You got to make sure that's always full, or at least full enough. And you also um, need to keep inking people, right? And so if other players are covered in ink, then you're actually able to uh, hurt them more than you would otherwise. So I think that's a really cool dynamic as well, and one that I'm pretty excited to try out. I think it's again unique, different, exciting. Um, And I appreciate that. I can already tell from my drawing that I'm a little bit more stiff than than their pose is, which is a little unfortunate, you know. But I'm committed now, right? I'm committed to my lines and my poses here. That's why you want to early on just make sure that everything is in fact the way that you want it, or the basic shape is the way you want it, because as you start playing details and everything, you get more and more locked in as you continue to refine and detail things out. Mm-hmm. So, thinking about the characters, I don't know if I'm going to play more as the Inkling boy or the Inkling girl. I would imagine it might be the boy. I really like the different costumes. There's and those are the ones that have kind of stood out to me. Those are the ones from the boy. I remember there is one that's like a very hipster look where there's like glasses, and I think he's a light blue in color. Like that one looks super fun. Or there's one where um, I think the color is green, and there's like a neckerchief over the Inkling's face. Like I think that looks pretty cool too. Um, so I'll probably just kind of go with whichever costumes I think look the most interesting. And I'm not actually can't think off the top of my head the girl costumes right now that stood out to me. I'm not thinking of it right now. Just a little bit sad now that I think about it. Um, all right. So I think the style of their eyes is kind of fun too. You know, it's kind of like it's almost raccoon-like, right? Like they've got the stylish black, you know, that's more squid-like um, than raccoon, but it's still got that feel to it, which I appreciate. I think it's kind of fun. Slight smirk there. That line underneath is kind of killing it. All right. There we go. Coming together. Alrighty, so we're going to call that one done as well. This is Inkling Girl in this case. There are a couple things that I like about this. Again, in terms of things that I don't, though, it's a little too stiff. I actually kind of like how I feel like the legs actually got closer to the right form than I was expecting. So happy about that. I think that was a big win there. I think the face also is not too far off, but I did make the head a little wide, which then stretches out the entirety of the face, giving it not quite that same look that it needs. Also, the perspective of the canister appears to be a little bit off, which is a little unfortunate, but I think that helps it a bit. And also the gun is not quite there as well. The most detailed sections are hard unless you really take the time to fill in all that detail. So anyways, I'm going to give this a solid 6 out of 10. I think it turned out okay. Not my favorite, however, but regardless, super excited to play Inkling. Inkling is probably one of the characters I'm most excited about from the new announcements, and I can't wait to play as her or him, depending. And I love that all of the characters need to be unlocked. I think that is so cool and gonna really open up a lot of replayability there, and I think it'll keep bringing me back to Smash Brothers in a way that other Smash Brothers haven't been able to do in the past. And so super excited about that. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this drawing of Inkling. Catch you on the next one. Bye.